This past weekend, I was out with my family and a few relatives at a river here in Japan. It was an overnight stay. It was almost like a campsite. And every time these kinds of things happens, it's drinking. And since I am at the age I can drink, I partake. I partake in the drinking. So I had a few drinks, and I noticed something happen that happens to me a lot when I'm in these kinds of situations, and it's that cliche moment that we all know about all of a sudden when you never expect it. Just you have it feels like a relapse. It feels like a shock, cold water shock of um, realization where you don't even know what you're realizing, but you just get so introspective, and it's like your your deepest thoughts that you've put away just dart at you, shoot to your face out of nowhere, and you can't do anything, and now you're just stuck in your thoughts right there in the middle of a crowd or in the middle of like a dinner table or something. And it happened to me while people were talking about jobs and things like that. I wasn't able to follow the conversation that well because they're speaking different languages, but I suddenly started thinking about why I'm here or how I ended up here in the literal sense. And I used to hang out with friends too who would feel this way, where we'd be in a mall, we had just commuted like a train ride or something like that, and I'd be with them in the mall, and they would be like, "Does it ever phase you like how we got here?" And I'm like, "No, not really. I'm just here enjoying my food. We're eating at some restaurant." And they're like, "It's crazy to think that we got here." Now I'm kind of getting that where it happens to me rarely, but when it does, it just hits me. And the difficult part is that you don't even know what it was, or you don't remember it, or it doesn't make sense to you, but you know it's important. And I've always had this belief that the universe is like an entity that is very active in people's lives. I'm not a religious person. I'd say I'm an atheist because I don't really believe in a God as a being, as a person, or as something that exists or has a human face. Rather, I think of the universe as what people would say God. And I think that the universe talks to you. I write poetry, a lot of poems are about trying to talk to the universe or trying to understand what the universe is giving to you. The universe gives you certain scenarios and certain things that happen in your life, and people always think that they're trying to understand why these things happen to them, and it's the universe talking to them. That's what I think, and maybe what it is when these moments happen to you and you don't know what's going on, and suddenly you start thinking about things you didn't think matter, and it's just the universe's way of tapping you on the shoulder, telling you to think about something. And I'm starting to think about how I used to be in touch with that through spirituality, meditation, things like that. I used to be a pretty spiritual person, but I don't really do that anymore. I think being conscious and being present and being aware about these kinds of things and looking out for the messages that the universe sends you, like it's like you have an antenna, you have a higher radar for that. I think that's what I need because I feel a lack of direction in where I'm going, and I feel uncertainty, as I've talked about in the past few videos. And I think when you're someone in a situation like that, and you don't have religion, you don't have a set of beliefs like that, you need to look out to the world and to the universe, to the stars, and try to find meaning there when you can't really find it in yourself. Because the universe will inherently give inherent meaning to you. Because if you have the belief like mine, then everything comes from the universe, and everything comes back to the universe. It's like a flow of a river that's infinite. The universe is a never-ending river or a flow of ideas, of love, of hate, of everything. And when I channel emotions and when I channel things into my own thoughts, that's the universe is intervening with that, and it's trying to tell me things. And this doesn't just make sense. That's fine. You know, when do you ever sound like it always sounds weird to be talking about this kind of thing. I think the title also means a few things like when reality hits, which assumes that you don't live in reality or reality or you are oblivious to reality for most of the time, and it is only at these certain occasions that it finally hits you. So I think that means we are asleep until we realize that we are asleep, and then we wake up consciously, and maybe that's a spiritual awakening or something like that, which I really don't know anything about, so I really shouldn't be speaking about it. But I think it's a thing of presence where if you're in the present moment, then reality is hitting you. And it doesn't even feel like it's hitting you. You are reality. But when you're not, and in my case, I was a bit drunk, almost a little bit drunk, so I wasn't being hit by reality. So when you have a light bulb moment and you think about something while you're in that state, reality is just such a shock because you're not in reality and things don't really feel real. And so what I'm trying to say is that I want to be able to have an interconnectedness with myself and with the universe so that reality doesn't hit me and reality is just there and I am just channeling reality. And in the sense, I don't even know what reality really means. I think what I'm our definition of reality in this video is just everything that's going on in the world that matters to you. So when you don't think about those things, the universe will have to remind you of that in these kinds of moments. And I don't know, I just decided to talk about this because I felt it and I can't pinpoint what it was that I felt. So I'm talking about the sensation of feeling it rather than what it was, and which is a very difficult thing to be talking about. I don't even know what I'm saying. It's like you're trying to aim at something, but it's blurry and you don't know what you're even looking at. And I think that's just how it is in the beginning. And when I'm starting to realize that I need to think deeper and I need to be a deeper, more spiritual person. Not even spiritual, just more aware and more awake. Because sometimes I feel like I'm asleep or just going day by day, letting everything pass and not taking control. Feeling like I'm someone in a river being swept by the waves rather than making my own, than swimming in that direction. And the days are passing you by and you're not doing anything about it. And so I think the universe talks to you, and reality is something that needs to be around you. Reality is something that needs to be a very conscious thing that should not surprise you. So I think that's what the video is about. I don't want to. I don't know if I should make videos too long. These first few videos, I'm realizing that I'm starting a YouTube channel. So when I get to my 100th video, if I start liking this process, then these first videos won't really matter, and it's just putting my reps in. It's just the act of showing up and all this productivity stuff. Like, these videos don't even really matter. It's just me putting the work in for the day and trying to be consistent with it. Maybe eventually the things I talk about will be more interesting. Eventually my reality might be better. And I might, not that, but I might view reality better. So I'll be more awake and reality won't attack me at random moments. And I'll create my own reality. Reality is a confusing word, but it sounds cool, doesn't it? So I think that's it. Well, I hope reality does you no harm, because it really doesn't. So open your eyes, I guess. See you.